You have got to stop having crucial conversations with someone you're dating towards a relationship or with your partner already in a relationship through text messages. Stop doing it. And what is a crucial conversation? It's a conversation that after it's been had, one or both of you stands to really feel a way, either really good about the situation or really bad. It's an emotionally moving conversation to where there will be a new understanding after it's all said and done, right? Meaning you're resolving conflict through this conversation. You're discussing you guys maybe moving to a committed relationship, things that are really impactful. An important conversation of that magnitude to where whatever it happens, how it goes, stands to sway your perspectives heavily towards the positive, towards building up your relationship or causing the destruction of it or what you're trying to build, should never be had through text messages. You're playing Russian roulette with something that is very important. Why is it a gamble? Because whenever you do this, you're leaving it to the interpretation of the other person in the way that they choose to read it. Tonality isn't there is great in text messages. Yeah, some people can be pretty good texters at conveying emotion, but even then, you don't know how transparent and authentic that emotion through the text messages are, right? Someone could, when they're not in front of you, feel a way about something, but not want it to come off that way. And then, put little exclamations and more happy emojis or whatever in the text message. But really, the face that they have that they're wearing when they're sitting there in their seat texting this to you is one of anger and frustration, right? To where you're not actually getting accurate information to convey where both of you are at through this dialogue. And another big piece a lot of people overlook is that whenever you send text messages, people tend to read the messages in their own voice, right? And this is how interpretations can get messy sometimes. They read it in the way that they would hear themselves saying it, right? And what it means to them, those words, not necessarily the way you may deliver it if you were talking to them directly. And then what's that set up? A breeding ground for assumptions. The other person starts assuming certain perspectives and certain things and assuming you meant one thing that you didn't because they don't have the tonality that you can deliver it in with the energy and the presence that will convey more information than just the words themselves. See, effective communication is more about the whole collective of that experience, the tone, energy, the state you bring into the equation, just as much as the things that you are actually saying, right? And whenever you strip that component out of a crucial conversation, you're setting yourself up for failure if one or both of you isn't that great at conveying exactly how you feel and what the way you mean and all that stuff through text. And then when you're texting, there's things that don't get said because who's going to send these long blocks of messages? Now, I know some people do it, but even that becomes confusing. Things get lost in the mix and so forth. It's so much more effective to keep any conversation that's going to stand to change or make or break your relationship dynamic with someone in person first. That should always be your goal. In the same room, feel that energy, that vibe, or at the very least, a phone call, video call first, if you can do that. And if you can't do video, then just an audio call. But you should never have really important conversations with someone through text message. It's an ugly habit we have got to break. I get it. Text messaging has become such a convenient, fast, and normalized way of communicating with, someone else and people and so forth. And that's fine. You can communicate some lighter things. Maybe you guys have a date or something like that, and you want to make sure you're on the same page about the time and all that stuff. Okay, informational textbook stuff, but not stuff that emotions get involved into, get attached into. So if the person you're talking to, dating, or in a relationship with is attempting to have crucial conversations via text message, kindly redirect them to an actual in-person conversation or at least a video call. Say to them, hey, this conversation seems like it's going to be important and it matters. And I want to make sure I understand you properly and you understand me to where there's no confusion. So I'd appreciate it if we held off on this or set a date and a time right then and there to have an in-person conversation or a video call or at least via the phone, right? Just a regular audio call. But do not accept talking about things that really matter through text message. If you start to really change this habit of communication with someone that matters a lot in your life, I guarantee it's going to make a lot more of the outcomes of those conversations a lot more effective and productive. Let's get it.